Hey teachers, if you have followed my channel for long, you probably know that I love easy tech tools that make learning more fun and engaging. Well, recently, I stumbled upon a virtual spinner that has quickly risen to the top of my list of virtual spinners. It is called Spinner Wheel, and the reason why I am loving Spinner Wheel so much right now is because it is highly customizable, and it is also the only virtual spinner that I have found where you can spin multiple wheels at the same time. You don't just have to have one wheel or multiple browsers open. You can have several wheels on the same screen, all spinning at one time. So in this video, I want to show you how to create and use wheels inside of Spinner Wheel, and then we're going to end this video with some of my favorite activities that you can do with Spinner Wheel. Now first, I want you to know that Spinner Wheel is a completely free online tool. So everything that I am going to show you in this video is free at the time of making the video. Now I know teachers love free tools and resources for their classroom, so I thought it was important to get that out of the way first. And now let's go ahead and jump on my computer and I'm going to show you what it looks like and how to use it. Now before I show you how to start creating inside of Spinner Wheel, I want to give you a preview of what it looks like and how it works. So you can see here that I have 3 wheels and I'm going to use these to create groups for my math centers. There are 15 students in this class and I've put 5 students on each wheel. Now when I'm ready to use this, the best thing to do is click full screen mode. You'll see that this takes away all of the distractions and it also makes it much easier to project onto something such as a smartboard. When I'm ready, I'm going to click spin all to create the first group. So you'll see these students are in the first group, and you'll also notice how the wheels just changed. I have added a setting to these so that the names automatically disappear after each spin that they're used, and that means that they won't get reused again. So I can hit close. Now if I exit out of full screen, I can look at the results anytime for each board by clicking results so I can see who was spun first. And after I finished, I can reset the wheel anytime by just clicking the refresh button up here in my browser, and you can see that the wheels are back to normal and that those names have been added back in. Okay, so now that you know what Spinner Wheel looks like and how to use it, let's go ahead and create a brand new wheel. You're gonna do that by clicking new up here at the top of the page, and then you can start creating from there. Now, I like to adjust the design and the settings for my wheel before I start actually putting in what will go on each of these pieces. So to change the design, you can click up here on design, and you've got a couple different options. If you title your wheel and you want that title to show, you can click that check mark and the name of the wheel will appear above it. I also like that Spinner Wheel gives you a lot of fun themes to choose from. So if you're doing a holiday wheel, you could select Halloween and it gives you a fun Halloween design. The other day I was creating a science review game and I clicked on this Planet Earth one and it gave me a very fun design that I used as part of my solar system review. But there's all kinds of very fun designs that you can choose from here. Now, the wheel that I am about to create is going to be for a math game, so I'm going to customize it for that. I can decide if I want a solid background, or if I click on image and then click on open Unsplash, which is a stock image site, I can search for images. So since this is a math game, I'm going to search for some kind of fun math image that I can use, maybe this one right here, and just click OK, and then click OK again, and you'll see that it applied it to the background. Now I'm going to change the settings for the wheel itself. So I'm going to click on this little cog here above the box where we type our entries. Now, while spinning, it's going to give you all kinds of sounds that you can choose from that the wheel will make when it's spinning. So I can click on one and click play to hear what it sounds like. I need to turn up my volume so that I can actually hear it. If I don't like that one, I can select a different one. And I need to find just the perfect one for my math. Maybe we'll do a drum roll. You can also play with the volume here as well. I usually just keep it somewhere in the middle. And then last, you'll choose the number of seconds that the wheel spins. I usually change it to 5. Okay, 5 seconds. Things like 8, 9, 10 seconds don't seem like a long time until it's actually spinning, and then it can feel like it's spinning forever. I think 5 seconds is just right. Now we'll decide what happens after it spins, so the post-spin. Once again, you can choose the sound that plays at the end. So that's kind of fun. Play with the volume. Now you can choose whether to add an animation, and these are just little fun things that happen. I usually either do the confetti or the fireworks. You can click on any of them to preview. For this one though, since I'm just going to be generating math problems, it might be a little distracting to have the animations, so I'm gonna remove it for this time. Next up, you can decide, if you remember with the names that I did for my math centers, those names that were spun disappeared straight away. So if you want those to disappear straight away, you'll click on remove selected item after 3 seconds and the names will automatically disappear. If you don't want them to disappear, click on show option to remove selected item. And after each spin, it will ask you if you want to remove that item. I'm gonna leave this one selected because since I'm generating math problems, I'm fine with the numbers staying up there a little bit longer. And last, with this launch pop-up, this is the text that will appear above the options that are spun. So it could say result. I'm gonna change this to problem because I am generating math problems with this. And then last, we're going to click on design. This will allow you to change the colors on the wheel. So you can play with that and change colors. Maybe you don't want as many colors as that are shown here, so you just uncheck those and you'll only have the number of colors that you want. This option here is for if you are uploading images to each of the pieces. If you're uploading images, it will ensure that the colors you have selected here are the same ones that appear behind those images. So you really only need to check this if you're using images on the wheel, which I am not doing for this one. And last, we can decide, you'll notice with some of those designs, there was a planet Earth in the middle of the wheel or a pizza. So you can decide whether there's nothing in the center of the wheel, whether you use an image, and if you do, you'll just select one from Unsplash like we did for the background, or if you want text. I'm gonna use text and I'm going to say fraction 1 because the students are going to be spinning 3 fractions to use in a math problem. And the last option is to allow duplicates. So if you do not want any duplicates on your wheel, you can uncheck this. This is good if you're worried about accidentally typing something twice. If you do type it twice, it will automatically remove it for you. But after I finish all of my settings, I'm going to click OK. And now it's time to start customizing the wheel with what we want. Like I said, I'm gonna be creating a fraction game where they are going to spin several different fractions and then add them all together. So I'm just going to type in the fractions that I want used in this box over here. When you're finished typing what will go on one piece, click enter and then type the next thing. And so I am going to have, let's do 5 fractions on this board. So one more. Okay, so I have my first 5 fractions there. I also want to show you if you want to add an image instead of text, you'll just click add this image icon. Once again, it's going to pull images from Unsplash. So let's say you were doing a history one and you want a picture of George Washington, you could type in George Washington, select his picture. You can also add emojis to the pieces by clicking this smile icon over here, and you can easily add an emoji to any piece as well. That's a really fun way to get your students' attention. And if you have a lot of spaces, you can also just extend this by dragging the bottoms to make it a little bit easier to see everything that is on your wheel at one time. All right, so I have my first wheel done, but remember, I want my students to be able to spin 3 fractions at the same time to be able to add together. So now we're gonna get into the tools that really make spinner wheel unique, and that is adding those multiple wheels. So adding multiple wheels is very, very simple. You're just going to click add up here in the top right hand corner, and you will see that second wheel appears. Now, just so you know, when you do that, you are going to have to go back through and change the settings for that wheel. Make sure they are the way that you want them. It's going to automatically carry over whatever your settings were for the first wheel, so there may be things that you need to tweak. For example, I want this one to say fraction number 2, so I'm going to change that, but I'm going to keep the colors and the sounds and everything else the same, and just click OK. You'll see that change to fraction 2. Now I just am going to add the 5 fractions to this board, and it's okay if I have some of the ones from the first one for this particular board, since it's okay if 2 of the fractions spun are the same. Okay, so there are my next fractions. Now I'm going to add one more wheel in, but I'm gonna do exactly the same thing that I did before. I'm gonna click add, and there is my third wheel. So very quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and update the settings and the fractions on this wheel. We're gonna go ahead and speed this up so it doesn't take too long. Now I also want to show you, when you are using multiple wheels, you'll see this little cog that appears under spin all, and this is the settings for if you are spinning all of the wheels at the same time, because you can spin them individually by just clicking one at a time, or you can click spin all to spin them all at the same time. So these are the settings for if they're all spinning at the same time. So I can change what it sounds like while they're spinning, and after they're spinning. I didn't want animation, and I wanted it to say problem. And then this will also display the results horizontally instead of vertically. So we can click OK, and then you see if they spin all, they all spin and give me the results. And remember, because I didn't put the setting in for the results to remove automatically, I can decide whether I want them to remove or not. So if I click close, all of the results will stay there. I can click remove for any one, and it will just remove what I want. Now when I'm finished, I can click save up here at the top. If you're not already logged in, it will ask you to do so. All you need to be able to log in is a Google account. So I'm gonna type the name of this wheel. So we're gonna call it fraction addition, because the students are generating 3 fractions that they'll add, and they will click save. Now I can view, it automatically took me here when I click save, but I can view the wheels anytime by clicking my wheels, and it will give me a list of all of the wheels that I've made before, and all I have to do is click on open to open any one of those. Another helpful feature is the share icon, and this is how you will share the wheels with your students. So you can either copy and paste this link and share it someplace, or you can click on any of these icons to be able to share directly in those places, such as Facebook, Messenger, anything like that. I particularly like copying and pasting the link and embedding it in my Google Slides when I'm making digital math centers, or I will copy and paste the link and share in my Google Classroom. Those are the most common ways that I use it. Now that you know how easy it is to create and use Spinner Wheel, let's talk about a few different ways that you can use Spinner Wheel in your classroom. I'm going to share 5 activities that I am loving right now with you. Now, the first is an easy identification game. You can see here that I have created one with presidents, so I have different pictures of presidents. Students spin it and then name the president that they see, but you can do this with almost any subject area. For example, in science, you could have an identification game where students spin and then identify an element on the periodic table of elements, or maybe they spin a picture of an animal and determine whether it's a vertebrate or an invertebrate. Second, you can create a very fun creative writing activity. You can see here that students spin these 3 wheels at one time to select the character, setting, and the plot. And then they write a short story that incorporates each of these elements. Now, the wheels that I just showed you are actually already pre-made in Spinner Wheel. You don't have to do anything. You can find them by scrolling to the bottom of their homepage. They have several pre-made wheels there, and just select short burst writing. Third, it can be really hard to find virtual dice tools for students, but you can actually create virtual dice rollers with these spinners. The ones that I'm showing you right now are also pre-made in Spinner Wheel. If you go down to the bottom of the page and select dice roller, you don't even have to create anything yourself. I love using the dice roller spinner for my online math centers and games. Next, using multiple spinners makes for great virtual brain break activities. With these spinners, the first spinner shows an exercise and the second spinner shows a number. When students are getting tired halfway through the day, whether they're learning in a classroom or online, you can spin the spinners, have students get up and do what they say to do to give them a quick pick-me-up. Last, you can use multiple wheels to create multi-step math problems. You can see here that students spin 3 wheels to create 2-step problems. You can also add additional wheels in so that they can practice order of operations and multi-step problems. These are just a few of the ways that you can use Spinner Wheel to make learning more fun and engaging for your students. I love that you can easily incorporate the wheels into any subject, and the possibilities are really endless because of that multi-wheel functionality. And I would love to hear from you. If you've used Spinner Wheel before, or if you've watched this video and now you're excited to start using Spinner Wheel, go ahead and leave some comments below. Let me know how you're either currently using it or how you plan to use it. Those comments also help other teachers to generate ideas as they read through the comments too. So make sure to leave a comment below and let me know. And then last, make sure to please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We create all of the content here on the channel for free, and by taking the time to like our videos, subscribe to the channel, it ensures that we're able to keep creating free content for you and teachers around the globe. So I hope that you and your students enjoy using Spinner Wheel. It really is a great virtual tool for the classroom or for online learning. And until next time, happy teaching!